Welcome to Buddha's in Your Landfill, or Buddhism Plain and Simple. So this is the fourth talk. I'm numbering the Buddhas made plain and simple because I'm trying to make them sequential, but at the same time making them standalone talks, because I don't know who you are. I don't know if you've been here for the other talks or if you're just dropping in for the first time. So this is a tricky thing. So yesterday we talked about soccer games, soccer as a cosmic game, and starting with a circle, you divide the circle into two halves, put a ball in the middle, and let them fight it out. So we're continuing this, and so today we're going to talk about the sting of consciousness. Or the art of the sting. Now, a sting is a situation in which you can't lose. Movies have been made. A famous one with Robert Redford and Robert Newman, The Sting, where you create a situation where somebody you want to take down is caught by their own strength. So no matter what they do, they can't get out, you see. We just watched The Sting on the congressional hearing of Agent Struck. That was a sting. The sting was set up because before the talk happened, the Republicans knew which questions the agent could not answer without being fired by the FBI. In other words, by disclosing an ongoing information about an ongoing investigation. That was a no-no. So what questions did they ask? They asked him to reveal questions or content about the investigation. That's a sting, because if they said if you don't answer, you're going to be held in contempt. So if you answer, you're going to be held in contempt by the FBI. If you don't answer, you're going to be held in contempt by the Congress. That's a sting. And so it makes the person caught in the sting look guilty because they're not revealing. It's like the Hillary's box. We know there's something in there, but you won't tell me, so that means there's something in there. We know there's something evil in there, something corrupt in that box, but because you won't tell me what's in the box, that confirms that there's something in the box and you're evil. That's a sting. So, what is the sting of consciousness? So now we're kind of like, I want to get into the formula of the sting so that you can understand it in your everyday life, because we create stings in our own everyday life every day. Anytime you feel that you're stuck, trapped, no matter what you do, you're stuck. If you ever watch, I've started watching reruns of Raymond, and I forgot to check my time, so I have no idea how long I'm talking here. So let me check my time as I do this. I use my father's watch that was given to him by his grandmother when he graduated from Annapolis. So I had it restored. And maybe I've been talking for 5 minutes, so I'll put it on 5. So Everyone Loves Raymond is all about Raymond being caught in a double bind. No matter what he does, he loses. And so that's the sting of consciousness. So if we want to get down to what the actual, human self-consciousness is a sting, is a lose-lose consciousness, a lose-lose situation, which drives us out of its frustration to transcend ourselves. In other words, there's no way out of a lose-lose situation. You either self-destruct and shoot yourself, or you transcend it. You evolve. You leap to a higher whole. You leap to a higher understanding and consciousness. You leap to an idea that includes the lose-lose. You start over with a new, higher idea. With a new idea. That's evolution. A new idea that was born out of the frustration of the lose-lose sting. So let's look at, from a Buddhist point of view, let's look at consciousness as a sting. So hang with me, folks. These are really, we're not used to looking at the way our mind works. But the only way we can look at the way our mind works is to catch ourselves in our everyday life, because that's where we work. That's where we are, going to Walmart, mowing the lawn, stepping in dog poop, all that stuff, the little conflicts in our relationships, and small and big. This is where we have to work. This is where we have to see through. This is what we have to make transparent to the transcendent, and the transcendent is a greater idea, an understanding, a satori of Zen. So let's really get down to basics here. If you notice, then, in our everyday consciousness, there are two me's. Just like in the soccer game, there are two teams. Which one is the true team? Which one is the winner? Which is the true two me? Now, what are the two me's? All right. Putting it into everyday example, when you feel like you're in the zone, maybe you're alone, maybe you're in an art, maybe you're in a sport, maybe you are in a situation where you are at one with it. I was just watching a dance routine, which I posted, and the couple were so in sync. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. This wasn't them, it was like a reincarnation, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. These couple were so in sync that you could not separate the two was one. So this is a metaphor. The two was one in this dance. The dance was a cosmic dance of the two that is one. So, but in our consciousness, the one, me, the one self, gets separated into two me's. Now, what are these two me's? Well, one me is the awareness. I'm aware of myself. When you're aware of yourself, you're split now, and your thinking separates from your being and says, am I doing it right? Am I making a fool of myself? And I'm thinking, oh, what if I forget what I'm saying? I'll appear foolish to you, and then I'll begin to and then I'll start making mistakes. If I see myself through your eyes, I object to myself through you, and I have stage fright. But obviously I don't have any stage fright now, because I'm speaking from me here at the center. I'm not divided. I'm not, oh, what should I say next? Where are my notes? Did I write down my notes? What was I supposed to, what was the next point? What was the next point? Oh my God, I'm looking foolish. That's the me out here. That's aware of me as being, as action, and judging it. Coming up with, oh man, I'm really on a roll now, or oh my God, I'm so stupid. Either way, you see, I'm really high now. Aren't they going to be proud of me now? Man, my mother would be really like me now, you see. Or, oh my God, my father will think I'm a fool. So this is like the conversation going on between the two me's. When you're in your center, you're not watching yourself. It's kind of like, oh my God, 2 hours, a whole hour has passed. I didn't even notice it. I didn't notice time. But as soon as you look at your watch and say, is it time yet? Are we done yet? Am I happy now? Have I arrived? I'm back here in the external me. So there's an internal me that is pure action. And then there is the external me that's watching me and criticizing it and see, how are you doing now? Are you measuring up to what your father wanted you to be? Are you measuring up to your ideals, you see? Are people going to laugh at you? That's the external me looking back and criticizing the internal me. That is a split. And it's a lose-lose thing. Because what we want to be, our heart wants to be, the whole drive is to be me, is to be whole, is to be free, is to dance, is to be light, is to be creative and joyous, to be home in the world, to be at home in the moment, to be here now. That's what we want. To be free from what? Well, we externalize and say, oh, to be free from the government, to be free from Obama, to be free from Trump, to be free from the deep state, to be free from the terrorism, to be free from God knows what. But we project this out and say, the external world is watching me. But we're projecting this external me out there as something other, you see, and then feeling I can't be me because of them. Well, you can't be you because of you. How can I be aware of myself not watching myself? Well, here's the problem. Our Western culture, the modern world that was really created, that evolved as an answer to the Middle Ages in the Enlightenment with the scientific method. Notice that the scientific method, the scientist here is here. The scientist looks at the world as if he were looking at a clock and trying to figure out how that clock works. But the scientist is not in the clock, you see. So the scientific view means that you have externalized this observing me out here. And it looks at the world. But this person, this me here, is not being looked at, is external. So we're interested then, from the Buddhist point of view, is not how to study myself objectively, but how to be myself. And you can't be yourself if you're studying yourself. You can't be yourself if you're measuring yourself to see how far you have to go in order to get to be yourself. Am I there yet? Have I arrived? You see. You can't be yourself and measure yourself at the same time because that splits you. And when you're split, you're not yourself. You're two me's, but there's only one. Who am I? Am I this me or this me, you see? That's a sting. How can I be aware of myself but not watching myself? You can't. This is a lose-lose, you see. No matter what I do here, in order to be one, I end up being two. No matter how much yoga, meditation, Buddhism, Christianity, religion, rationalism, whatever you try, whatever your path, whatever philosophy, will not bring you to the center where you are you, because you're using a means to be you, which is in time. So out here, this is time. Time measured, you see. Like the soccer game, you have 90 minutes. You have 90 minutes time to become one team, the one that has no second, you see. So how much time do you have in order to be the one that has no second? Well, as long as you're observing yourself along the way to see if you have arrived yet, you see, that is the sting, that the can that keeps being kicked down the road. You never arrive because you're in time. You see, when you are you, there's no time. When you are really you, you're in the moment doing the moment as you are the moment doing the moment. You are whatever it is. It might be quilting, it might be fishing, it might be whatever your art or your craft is, or whatever you do, where you find where you can drop the world watching you and become you without watching yourself. You see, we all find ways of doing that. We all find ways to heal the wound. This is a wound, you see, that won't heal. The sting of consciousness is a wound that won't heal. So we find all different ways to find a moment of respite, to find a moment of being me. This is so common, but you see, usually in everyday life, we're oscillating back and forth here. We're oscillating back. You're in the woods. You're walking along. Oh, you're just the walk. You're just the walking. You're just the woods. You're just the nature. And somebody calls, "Hey, Ed." And immediately, you're out of yourself. Immediately, you turn. Who called me? Now you're you, and that person has called you out of yourself. So now you're split. You're no longer being the walk. Now you are aware of yourself walking, and you're aware of yourself, you're separate. You're in a movie, and you're engrossed in the movie. That's why you come to the movie, to forget your me, to forget your split, to forget the wound. Oh, you're wide open. You are the movie, and somebody punches you. Hey, you got some popcorn? Well, you leave me alone. Get your own popcorn. You get mad because they just split you again. They just wounded you. They just tore you into two parts. Now you're back in your split me, and you're aware of yourself having just lost yourself, and you're angry because you had become the movie. And as soon as you start watching yourself watching the movie, you're no longer enjoying the movie. Now you're watching your clock. How long is this thing going to last? Or you're going, oh, I want to get it. If I get home, I could watch a good movie. Or I got this date. Now you're back in the external me, you see. So we use a lot of time. We have to buy, in our Western society, we have to buy moments or situations in which the wound is healed. We have to buy, we have to pay, get on a roller coaster. You have to pay to get on a roller coaster. While you're on that roller coaster, you're certainly not thinking about, oh boy, I'm on a roller coaster, or how long is this roller coaster going to last? You may have those thoughts, but if the roller coaster takes you out of it and makes you become the roller coaster. Skydiving, all of these things we pay for are just creating situations into which we get out of the lose-lose. We get out of the sting of consciousness and the wound, you see, and we become one with the moment. We become one with the moment. But that is not true liberation. That is not true Buddha nature, because you are dependent upon the situation in order to be free from the sting. In order to be free from the wound, you see. So, this little dance, this little sting, is going on all the time in our everyday life, but it's not on our map, so we don't notice it. We don't know how to notice it. We don't know how to see it. We don't know how to catch ourselves in it. So, anyway, thank you for dropping in, and I'll see you perhaps this evening at Martini time. Now, if you like